So thank you very much for joining us this evening. Welcome to our student panel discussion for the Manchester College. My name's Chelsea and I'm joined by my colleague Christian. Hi. And we're from the marketing team and we'll be your hosts for the event this evening. So we're going to be hearing from some of our students and some of our student experience team. We'll be talking about what it's like to be a student at the college, the exciting things that happen on campus and the opportunities for you to get involved with. So first of all, I will start by introducing our student experience team. So if you'd just like to kick things off, Megan, I'll start with you.
Hi everybody, my name is Megan Mackay. I'm one of the heads of student support here at, I'm based at the Openshaw campus and I look after various different areas, but mainly Openshaw and Wellcome Street campus as well.
Hi, my name's Jackie Casey. I'm also a head of student support and I'm based at Wythenshawe campus and that's in the south of Manchester.
Hi everyone, my name's Sylvia Hardacre and I'm the head of student support at the Northern campus, also based in the south as well.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, everybody. So now let's go on to our students. So with us tonight, who we got? So we've got Callum. Shall we start with you? Want to do a bit of an introduction?
Hi, my name is Callum. I'm a student currently studying at the Openshaw Manchester campus, which is just outside of town, and I'm studying multi-skill mechanics in the engineering department.
Brilliant. And we've also got Hilda.
Hi, my name is Hilda Obiora and I'm currently studying art and design. I'm at Manchester Openshaw campus and I love it.
Amazing. And let me just check if anybody else is joining. So we do have a couple more students, but they're just waiting to join us. So I will just start with some questions. So question number one is a bit about, college versus high school and the differences really. And so what was it like on your first typical week? You started college, you'd come from high school. What was it like when you walked through the college doors? So Callum, I'll start with you, that's all right.
Yeah, no problem. So the first week of college, it was quite exciting because we were thrown into a brand new environment and everything seemed so much more open than school because obviously there's no restriction with a uniform or with appearance. And it was just really big. All the teachers, whether you were part of their classes or not, they were really welcoming. And after walking around the campus a couple of times, you'd start to learn the layout pretty simply. And yeah, everything was it just felt nice.
Well, thanks. And Hilda, what about yourself? How did you feel?
My first day was quite overwhelming. Like I didn't understand I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to say. I didn't even know who to speak to, but I found that it's like the teachers were aware, or the people that stand at the gates, or even I call them secretaries, the people at the front gate. They were very aware and nice and willing to help. I also found my first ever lesson, it was very nice, and I met a lot of really nice people in my course, and everybody is so open and ready to actually get to know each and every person. So everybody was really funny as well. So yeah, that was nice.
That's
but it can be overwhelming. Yeah,
got to be funny. Because it sounds like it's quite supportive. If it was a bit of a shock to the system, but there's people there who can make you feel a bit at ease. And we've also had another student join us. Jim, I don't know if you're there, if you can talk.
Yeah, I'm here.
Brilliant. Hello. Sorry, Jim. Just before do you want to introduce yourself first, just because you didn't get a chance to do that?
Yeah. My name is Jim Lloyd. I'm studying level 3 engineering at the Openshaw campus in North Manchester.
Brilliant. So, what was your first week like in college?
To be honest, well, I went to Severian before joining Manchester College. So by the time I joined, a lot of people had already mixed in, if you want, and found friends and social groups. So it was somewhat different when I started. But you know what? It's quite straightforward. It's not too much of a difference. It's not too much of a shock to the system. It's the same sort of thing of getting in, doing your work, working hard, and yes, it's not too different in regards to that. Obviously, there's the difference in you're a bit more free than you was in high school, but other than that, it's I would say it was fairly similar. It wasn't too much of a bad change.
Fair enough, we had quite a few different experiences there. So alongside your course, what else is there to do at college? I mean, you know, at school, you've got this full timetable where you're in like from 9 till 3 or 8 till 3, and it's jam-packed, and obviously you've got your lunch and stuff, but then whereas at college, you come in and, you know, you might not be in every day, or you might be in half day. And so what else is to do alongside that? And, you know, I don't know if anyone wants to go first. Callum?
Yeah, why not? At the campus, currently they have a massive library facility with an abundance of computers spread around the library, so you can obviously log on, do any work, and it's just a quiet and calm environment. They also have a huge selection of books, which I do believe are currently out of commission just because of COVID and everything like that. But they also have, like, in the main campus building, they have like a pool table set up, which will be ready to be put out again soon once quarantine's calmed down a little bit. And yeah, they've got a big cafeteria, a wide range of food, and everything's just like there. They've also got fountains outside for a little bit of scenery with fish in them, and it's just a calm environment.
Brilliant. Is there anything, you know, Hilda, anything you can add to that? What else is there to do, you know, alongside your course? Have you got involved in anything?
Well, in the college, like what was previously explained, there was a lot of areas to sit down and talk. And when I first came, there was like an event. I think it was like a multicultural event, like a dancing event. So they have a few events here and there. And then the fish area, I love the fish area. It's a lovely area. There's like orange and red fish, so that's really nice. There's just a lot of places to sit down.
I think it's really different, isn't it, guys? And really different during COVID. Obviously, we can't really do much wonderful things that we'd normally. I think, Hilda, you've been with us for a couple of years, haven't you? So this is your last year with us at college. And I remember last year before COVID, we did loads of street food events. We had, like you said, dancing events, multicultural things going on. TMC's Got Talent, I think we had, which I think is coming back this year as well. So it's different, isn't it, with COVID? I don't know how you feel, Jim, with kind of being on campus only one day a week. What do you think? Is it a little bit different, I suppose, than what you would expect normally?
Yeah, it is. It's a lot different. The fact that you're only coming in one day a week. You would wish to be in more frequently, I suppose. You know, social purposes. But yeah, otherwise, it's not been too bad though. It's times that we live in, and we've got to deal with it. So it's just what we're going through. But it does get back to normal. And when it does get back to normal, obviously college is it's a great place for socialisation, great educational prosperity. Especially on my course now, I've definitely learned a lot of new and interesting things, and the teachers are great. They offer help and support where you need it. So and thanks to you as well, Megan. I mean, you got me set up on my course now, so if it weren't for you, maybe I wouldn't have had this year. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. We've just had a question through on the Q&A. So if you've got any questions, do pop them into the Q&A box. This one might be good for, I think, Hilda, if she's been with us for a couple of years. What's the atmosphere like on a normal college day when not COVID dependent? What's the atmosphere like, maybe in comparison to high school? Hilda, you got that one? You there? No, might have lost her. Okay. We do have actually a new someone else to join us as well. So we've got Luke Taylor, who's another one of our students. I'll just add him to the conversation. Let's see where he is. Hi, Luke, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Luke. Welcome.
Hello.
Do you want to just quickly introduce yourself and you know, what course you're studying and you know, how
Yeah.
you're enjoying your time at the Manchester College?
I'm Luke. I'm a first year on the level 3 acting course at the Shenna Simon campus. And so I'm a first year, so everything that I've done has mainly been online. But like even just from the few times I have been on campus, I've loved it so much. Like you get to like the staff are amazing with you. Like just having them there just as a support is always amazing. Then you meeting new people and everything, which is really great. And then you get really long breaks. That's probably one of the best thing about college compared to high school. The breaks are longer, so you have like 2 hours to go and, you know, get McDonald's and then have a laugh with your friends and then make it back in time for your lesson. Yeah, it's great.
And hopefully do a bit of learning in that break time.
Yeah, learning's important. Yeah, not just McDonald's.
Bit of independent study.
And how about that the question I just asked there to Hilda? You know, in terms of the atmosphere, how do you find that in terms of the difference between college and school?
Between college and school, at college everything's a lot more relaxed. It's like everyone's expecting you to be there and be responsible for yourself. So, and in high school, you sort of get everything spoon-fed to you by teachers, where in college, you're more self-reliant and you're learning to work things out for yourself. And obviously, there are moments where you're working in a team and that's great, but they're really trying to make you be the best version of yourself. So I'd say in college, you have to, everything's more just relaxed and you get to sort of find your own path instead of everything being like, this is what you're going to do today. And you like, it's all like blah, 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 blah. Or in college, it's a bit more.
It's up to you in a way. Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest differences. One of the big questions we always get is you know, you're timetabled at school for the full week, and but whereas once you come to college, you've got a lot more free time. You know, to do you know,
yeah, because you're not in every day as well. I'm only in 3 days on, and this is on a non-COVID sort of schedule. I'm in 3 days a week, and I don't always finish at the same time either. Sometimes I finish at 3 o'clock. Sometimes I might finish at 1. And just that's really cool as well, because in high school you're always finishing at the same time.
It's independence, isn't it? It's that extra. It's kind of you know, you leave high school, and then it's that in between where you before you go into your job or university, it's just kind of, you know, slowly but surely easing you into kind of self-direction, and you know, you have to take a bit of ownership of, you know, your own day, and you know, you might have long breaks, and sometimes, you know, you might have a deadline coming up, and you know, earlier on in the year you might choose to, you know, socialize with your mates, but then let's say, you know, close to that deadline you might end up using that time to finish off your assignments and it's kind of, it's just about nurturing you, isn't it, and you know, getting you set for the big world really, and you know, time management and all that kind of stuff. It's just giving you that break really to do that yourself and find your feet. And just, I mean, moving on really just to support, because I know a few of you have mentioned a bit of the support that you have received, you know, from your tutors, from, you know, people in this video call. So is there anyone who would like to kind of, you know, talk a bit more about that and tell us a bit more about the support that you have received at college?
I would.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So I'm actually self-isolating right now because I have coronavirus, and at college I should be doing a 4-week project that goes towards my final grade, and so not being able to be on campus is a bit of an issue, and it was something I was quite worried about. But all I had to do was I spoke to one of my tutors, and within an hour we sorted out a whole plan. We'd spoken to like people, you know, putting me in contact with people who I could talk to if I was getting really stressed out about it. But then also being like, okay, this is the plan. We're going to call you into every lesson. We're going to make sure you're there, and we're going to make sure you know what you're doing, so that you're not falling behind, so that when you come back in 2 weeks' time, you're going to be ready, you're going to be good to go, which is amazing, because I feel like I was so stressed out about that. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. And then all of a sudden I have this amazing plan and everyone's trying to help me. I've currently got like a team of 10 people who are all dedicated just to making sure that this goes well for me.
An entourage.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. I mean,
Yeah, that is so true. That is really true.
have you had any experience like that then, Hilda? Is anything that you can add to that?
Yeah, like what Luke said, I really understood that because like let's say for instance I'm behind on work due to like reasons behind college or like separate from college. You'll just have like support. Like you 1 minute you don't have anything done, then the next day or the next minute you have things done. Like they organize things for you, like they find a way for you, and that like actually helps you to learn how to problem solve. Like I was very disorganized before I came to college, but after that I found myself very organized, like just like that. And it's actually, I think that's the thing that that's the thing I love about coming to college, because I'm just learning how to be more organized and how to solve my problems. So that's what I really like.
I think that's a really good point, Hilda, actually, because we're all here to help you. So sometimes, like Hilda said at the start, it might feel quite overwhelming, but it's really, really important that if you feel like that, just speak to anybody. Any member of staff will always help you. And if they don't know the answer, they'll always guide you towards somebody who can. So, for us, communication is key, and talking and not being afraid to ask questions. So that's really, really important, kind of thinking that, somebody's going to listen to me, because that's what we're all here for. So I think, Hilda, you're absolutely right there.
And that's where our support team come into that, isn't it, Sobia? Because myself and my colleagues, we have teams of student mentors, student experience practitioners that are very visible. They're on the campus floor, they're chatting to you, they meet you when you come in the morning, say hi, and they have an open door policy, really. So if you need to chat to anybody straight away, you can always find somebody if you want to.
And one of the best things about college is the relationship between, the staff and the student. It's not the same as in high school. It's relaxed, but it's still very professional. So like I on my phone have numbers of some of my tutors or numbers of some of the support team. So that, because sometimes you don't want to speak to someone about your problems, and so I might just send like a really long text, which is really, really nice that you can just do that.
Yeah, and again, that's a good point, Luke, actually, because all our staff have work mobile phones, so they'll share those details with you right at the start. So they'll always give you their contact details, or their emails, their mobile numbers, and we don't really have landlines anymore, so or had to contact through Teams. And again, like Luke said, if you wanted to kind of send a message because you didn't want to speak to somebody face to face, that's what all those services are there for. So, and if you're ever unsure, if you go to reception, again, they'll be able to share those details with you as well. So it's that working relationship, and then also having respect for each other, because that's how a culture thrives, by everybody respecting each other. So yeah, that's a really good point, Luke.
I must say,
sorry, Jim, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say from earlier on, the point that Luke made about having a more relaxed schedule, that's actually been quite beneficial, because last year I was doing say 4 days in college, and then I would go to work for 3 days, and I would work after college. So the fact that you've got that relaxed schedule, sometimes I was earning £70 a week, £80 a week, and it was great because it could fund things like me driving lessons that I'll be doing very shortly. I'm 17, and funding flight school that I'll be doing as well. So I've got that money now coming in that I can make because of the more relaxed schedule. So he's definitely great for that.
Well, I'm in a similar boat because so I'm an actor, and during high school I could never take on any acting jobs because I was in school 24/7 and my weekend was my only break. So now that I'm in college and I have those days off, I'm finding that I can take on jobs, which is really, really fun because I'm getting that more experience.
Yeah, exactly. No, I can fully agree with you. I can book lessons at Barton Airport, go straight from Manchester College at 1 o'clock, possibly be done at Barton by 4 o'clock. I've done the flight and landed then. So, you can do things like that as well. You've got a great opportunity.
Yeah.
And like Jim and Luke said, it's expanding on your skills. So that's the areas that you're interested in, and that's what you want to develop. But actually, it's all kind of feeds into each other. So you're learning, and you're kind of on a new course. You're learning the skills behind it and the theory, but actually, it kind of goes hand in hand outside of college and gives you those skills that you need when you do step into the real world and when you do the actual job. So yeah, that's really, really positive. And it links back to your work experience as well, and learning what kind of skills to have within those areas as well.
100%. I found myself actually making a timetable now to follow, because you've got a more relaxed timetable. So I'm actually making a timetable now to follow, which is good because you're learning how to develop independent skills, make your own timetable, manage your own time. So it's definitely great for things like that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, go on, Callum.
Also, just to add, like both Luke and Jim were saying, having that those extra days off while you're in college can do you the world of good, because having like an extra day to take to yourself to either like just contemplate everything and to just get your life in order it does you the world of good. And also I took up a part-time job just before we got put into the second lockdown, where I would work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because I'm only in for the first 3 days of the week. And yeah, again, that helps me fund the things that I want to do and the things that I want to buy. And also in the college, there is one of the student mentors called Kofi, and I've obviously, with the way lockdown's been, it's obviously presented problems, and Kofi's just always been there whenever he's seen that I've been agitated or down, and he always goes out of his way every single day. Even if he hasn't seen me as I'm coming into the building, he'll actively try and find me throughout the day so that we can have at least one conversation before I leave the building. And it's just comforting to know that somebody's always going to be there.
That is one of the best things about the people at college, because you get a sense of they genuinely care. They're not just doing it because it's their job. They're not just being nice to you because, they're the student mentor. They're doing it because they actually care. Like, I have someone called Louise, and she does the exact same thing. She makes sure that she always checks up on me. She's always making sure I'm okay. And it's just really nice to know that someone's looking out for you.
I think it's that thing again about respect, isn't it? Everyone just ever has a lot of respect for each other, and the tutors and the mentors, and they've got this mutual respect, and you've got the same for them. It's not like where at high school, I think everyone might still have that same respect, but I think because you get to know people on a bit more of a deeper level, and you have got their email address or their mobile, and they do have chats with you that aren't kind of strictly on a level where it's I'm your tutor and you're my student. It's a bit more of a it's a bit more of a similar level where they'll treat you as kind of the same on equal. The same level as them, as equal, and it's just that mutual respect that I think it allows you to kind of develop these stronger relationships and instill like further trust in each other, because they support you on different levels, definitely. Rather than being academic, that have to be there to support you academically. It's another level, isn't it, of that respect and support.
Yeah, because they can also while you're in class, they can balance out still being a tutor to you, so they're still feeding you information constantly, but they can also balance out being a tutor and a friend at the same time.
Definitely. I'm just gonna move on the conversation to just like a bit of what it's like as a student and what this college experience is like on campus, and what else can you do besides your course? I mean, is there any extracurricular things? Has any of you got involved in anything aside from your course?
Yeah, there's been a couple of things. Obviously, because of COVID, there has been restrictions to what the college has been allowed to put on, but there's been like a book club at the college where at the moment it's online, where we have a call every Monday and Friday, I believe, and obviously discuss the latest books and discuss thoughts on what we've read. And also at college, just before we went into second lockdown, they had a little let's call it just a reenactment where it was talking about knife crime and it was getting all the young people involved, and they forced me to go onto stage and perform in front of everybody. But I absolutely loved it because it was like useful, because it shows you kind of like how to carry yourself in society, but it also shows you what to be aware of and like the signs of knife crime and stuff like that.
Sure.
So when I was like joining this college, I was really interested in the fact that there were so many clubs, but obviously because of COVID, those haven't been able to go on. But I've been making myself busy with calls like this where I get to represent the college. So I've been having sort of Zoom meetings with like industry professionals, drama schools, people like that. But also like on Friday, I was in a meeting that was all about anti-bullying, and I did one about racism, and they're just really, really interesting. And it's nice to be able to just take the time out of your day to do something like that just for like an hour or two.
Of course.
A lot of our enrichment has moved online, and we've had some really interesting guest speakers deliver some workshops to the students over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
You have a chance to join independent study sites, I suppose you could say, yourself. For example, last year, at the end of last year, I did a virtual work experience with Airbus, which was great insight into scientific principles, moving to Mars and different things like that. Aircraft ingenuity, moving to greener energy, where you can do them things around your college time. So you've also got opportunities outside of college to book outside activities, and you can work easier around your new schedule.
Yeah, working adding to that, I had a acting job which was, and one of the filming days was the same day that I would have college. And so they said, well, we don't want you to miss out, so we'll figure something out so that you can do this. So it wasn't a case of like, no, you can't do this, you have to be in college. It was like, oh, let's have a look at this and let's try and find a workaround so that you can do both.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to add to that real quick, also at the college, I was given the opportunity to become an ambassador for the automotive industry. And I think it's a great opportunity to have, because now when everything reopens again, I'll have the chance to host open days and show people like what the automotive industry it really is, and just how appreciative we are of everything we've been given within the workshops. And I'll be able to help with side events and just being able to show people what the college is really like.
I mean, you have fantastic facilities in automotive, don't you, Callum?
Yeah, we've just been given a pretty hefty revamp. I think it was somewhere over the £2 million mark, and everything's been basically replaced as brand new. And just when you walk into the workshop, it's just it like takes you back and it just blasts you away.
I've been down to the automotive bit from engineering. That stuff's still rusty when they've got £2 million revamp.
That's what I was thinking when I first stepped into the theatre on the Chenna Simon campus. Like, it's got all the equipment in there is like really, really high tech, and it was just like, wow, this is cool. Like it was just breathtaking to see it, because it's amazing.
I've been to some of the shows that the performing arts students put on, and they're great, absolutely fantastic.
It's safe to say that there's definitely lots of great facilities. I mean, you know, Sheena Simon, Openshaw, like loads of the campuses, and obviously there's going to be the new city centre campus, and I think Openshaw's even more redevelopments happening. So you know, the facilities are they're on par with the industry, aren't they? And it's safe to say that if, say, Luke, if you was to step onto, you know, go behind on the stages at the Lowry Theatre, let's say, you know, it'd be very, you know, be on par with the facilities they've got there. And, you know, same with the automotive, you know, if not better, really. Our automotive workshop is absolutely incredible, you know.
Yeah.
And compared to, say, you know, garages and stuff, probably more on par with, you know, like your Mercedes showrooms and stuff, isn't it?
Showrooms and
Crazy.
massive like manufacturers, factories, because we have like a whole new line of brand new lifts for cars and everything. Every spot that's available in the workshop has been filled with a brand new car for people to work on. And it's just an amazing opportunity, and it's like the stepping stones that we need to be able to progress in our careers.
Do
So
you
when,
get to drive?
oh, go on, someone going to say something now?
So
No.
no, just get to drive the car. No.
No, not really, because obviously, because most of us are still 16, they won't necessarily, they will let us in the cars occasionally to move them around. Like they'll push the car and we'll be steering, and we get to like start them up and move them around a tiny bit. But obviously there has to be some restrictions in order to keep everyone's safety in mind.
Very, very good answer, Callum. So just moving on to kind of, you know, your next steps and careers and everything that you want to do after college, you know, whether that's university or, you know, going straight into work. So Hilda, I'll start with you. What is it that you're hoping to do, you know, after you've finished at college? Because you're on your, you know, it's your final year with us now. So what are your next steps?
Well, I've got a lot of next steps, but my first one is to get into fine arts in my chosen universities. And after that, I would like to take on occupational health so that I can possibly become an art therapist.
Wow.
I would really like to do social work. I've applied for social work, so just waiting on the response. Yeah, and I just can't wait to take my art abilities into those things because I'm very creative. So that's my plan.
That's really interesting next step, you know, art therapy. It sounds like a really interesting job. And as you know, is the college, you know, has the college done anything to kind of help get you there? You know, have you had any employability lessons? You know, what has the college done to kind of help get you on the path to become an art therapist?
Well, like we were supposed to have like placements, like not placements, but I forgot the word, sorry. It's like we're supposed to go into different places, but like they were locked due to COVID, so I couldn't go. But right now, like art is really the thing that's helping me right now. And apart from because personally I'm taking courses on Coursera to do with like mental health and stuff, but art is really helping me because I find peace in it, so I'm learning from that. Yeah,
it's really interesting, Hilda, isn't it, that you know you go from high school where you're learning loads of different subjects. You might do food tech, German, English, history, and then you come into college and you choose one specific subject, but that doesn't mean your course for the rest of your life. It gives you so many different options out of that. Like, who would ever have thought if somebody was going to college to do art, that they'd go and be an art therapist and do occupational health? Like, it's not a direct career route, is it? But it just opens up so many doors for you, doesn't it, Hilda?
Yeah, it does. It really does. Like when I mention it, people are shocked, but it's like, what did you expect? I'm thinking everywhere every day. So yeah.
No, it's great. It's great that you are doing, you know, something like something everyone else would expect. You know, I think that's great, and if that's what you're doing, and that's great that you've got them ambitions as well. Luke, how about you? What are your next steps after college? So you're studying performing arts.
Yes. After college, I'm wanting to apply for the Manchester School of Theatre because it's the best one in Manchester. That and the Arden are my dream drama schools. And then whilst that's going on, I'm also going to be teaching at my theatre schools that I go to on a Sunday. Because they said that in a year's time, when I finish college, they want to take me on as a part-time teacher so that I can do that on top of drama school, because it'll be a really good experience for me, sort of balancing jobs, which is something we have to do a lot as actors. And the college, just like from the short time I've been with college, we've already had so many employability lessons because we do have one of the craziest industries. And so right from the get-go, they've been teaching us about the different types of contracts, like how to get work in this industry. And like, they've also been like very clear on, you can go to drama school and you can go that route, but there is also a route of just after college, you can go straight into work. And I think it's really interesting because you don't get that in high school. Like, you don't get taught anything about like the industry that you're going into, but to have that at college is like amazing, because it means I'm not just going into like the unknown. Because I have lots of like adult friends who are actors who say, like, I wish I'd known that at your age, because we learned it the hard way by failing and having to do stuff over and over again. But we're getting that education right now.
And I know you said as well that you have loads of employability lessons, and I think you also mentioned that you've had people come in for industry talks as well.
Yeah.
Who have you had come in, and how's that been?
We've had, I can't remember their names now, but we've had a lot of sort of people who are coming from drama schools, people who have just left, students from TMC who have just left, and we've had people from Coronation Street, we had someone from Hollyoaks, and then we've had theatre directors come in, because there's so many sort of untalked about job roles in this industry. So like for me, I want to be an actor, a director, and a writer, but like there's not really a path for that. So being able to talk to someone who is that is so great, because they can say, well, this is how I did it, and that's how you can.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities, and I know you mentioned Coronation Street. I think Sally Carmen's the patron for performing arts. Yeah, and so I think she comes in quite a lot to give industry talks and masterclasses and workshops, which is really great. Jim, what about you? What are your next steps after college?
So currently, I want to be an airline pilot. It's going well academically at the moment. I've met all the requirements leaving high school. I got the correct GCSE grades and everything to do it, so I was thrilled about that. But moving on from this year, I will probably move to maybe study level 3 science next year, and that's based on if for whatever reason piloting didn't work out in any event, then I would need a backup plan, and the backup plan would hopefully be to go into something. Some field of science, whether it be marine biology, or I have a love for physics as well. But my steps leaving high school is to do another year in college, and then hopefully apply for an EasyJet training course, which is a sponsored training course. So they'll pay for your flight training, and that way you're not going to be 120,000 in debt when you're just 20 years old. So that is obviously an issue with.
And then Callum, what about you?
So yeah, at the end of this year, I'm hopefully going to be, we've done the end of year exam kind of slightly backwards because we did it earlier on in the year, but I've passed that, and I'm hoping to move on to either level 2 or level 3 mechanics, and to hopefully go on from there and get the extra work experience that's kind of like mandatory when you take up a mechanic's role. And yeah, I want to be able to get all that work experience and learning time I can before I have to leave, so that I'm in the best position possible, ready for when I'm thrown out into the open world. And we've had plenty of industry professionals. We actually had, I can't remember what her name was, but she was one of the highest members of the board for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. She gave us a talk about obviously management in the company, what kind of stuff they offer, just as an extra route. And I think it was either last week or the week before, we actually had, I can't remember what his name was either, because for some reason names just got in my head, just things about them that I remember. He was a pit mechanic for very professional racing teams around the world, and he's traveling to different places every single month, and he's opened a new path in my head that I believe, is probably one of the best ones, because he's going around the world to different places every single month, and he's helping people compete for amazing cash prizes, and he's just living a great life.
Going back to that point again, isn't it, where you think that you might go and study automotive, and then the traditional route, become a mechanic, but then actually you get to college and you meet these people, you have these discussions and interactions with people, and you actually discover that there's more to the industry than your traditional mechanic, or even you might still want to work in the automotive industry, but then you can work on the business side, or that like the person from Enterprise Rent-A-Car. There's much more. It's a multifaceted sector, as with all sectors. It's if you wanted to go into hospitality and catering, you don't just have to become a chef. You can become like a business owner. There's so many different routes that you can take, and I think that's a great thing when you study one subject, and you kind of explore it a bit deeper and find out all the different opportunities that are available to you that you didn't know before. Brilliant. And so any of the student experience team, is there anything that you'd like to add on the next steps, and how the students are supported? I know there's they get lots of work experience and employability lessons, and help with university applications. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, so when you do start with this part of your study program, you do have employability sessions. You also have tutorials, industry days. You've also got industry placements as well. So depending on the course that you want to do, with some, obviously we're under restrictions at the moment, but hopefully come September you'll be able to go out to placements and take part in those. And then also, as part of your progression, we start looking at it quite early. So if you start with this in September, then come March time, we start looking at what is it you want to do next year, progression wise. So if it's moving on to the next level, do you want to kind of explore something else? What is it, how you're doing? And for those that want to go into university, we start applying more or less straight away. So in September, we start your application process, help you with the whole process, your statements. So any kind of support that you need with that is often covered in your tutorial sessions. So we're always looking at what your end goal is, but also how you're going to get there. So what do you have to do? And so especially if you come on to like a 2-year program, so you're doing a level 3 program, the first year is so crucial. So we'll support you in every possible way, because come the second year, when you want to apply for university, you want to be fully equipped. So we start kind of embedding those skills right from the word go. So those are some of the things that we do. But we also have other enrichment as well. So we do
Duke of Edinburgh.
Duke of Edinburgh. I thought I knew it was DOV, but I thought, was it York or Edinburgh? So we have the Duke of Edinburgh Award. So again, that helps kind of develop your skills. In a lot of universities acknowledge that as a development, and it looks good in your CV. So we do things like that. And then we also allow kind of run workshop sessions that's like some of these guys have said about being ambassadors and class reps, because it's all about hearing your voice and making sure that your voice is heard, but also knowing how to express your voice as well. So knowing how to go into a public forum and sharing all that information and representing your class, your group, your curriculum area. So, we're always wanting to work on all the skills to prepare you. So yeah, Jackie, have I missed anything?
No, I think that's it. As I said, that there's lots going on, and when we haven't got COVID restrictions, every day there's something going on campus. There's always International Day of something, like International Cupcake Day, and the support team are always celebrating, wanting to get the students involved in things. There's always a prize if a group or a class win things. So there's lots and lots of things that you can get involved in. Absolutely, it's really fun.
Yeah, and we do like to do fun things as well. Our
Instagram pages as well. We do have we're trying to be cool. We're on Instagram, so
follow us on Instagram.
The Instagram is actually really cool. It's really
good to make a plug.
So if you know what campus you're going to,
are we allowed to do that?
And then you can get involved in all sorts of things. There's competitions on Friday. There's wonderful U Wednesdays, I think they are, and we try to do a lot of IGTV things, especially over lockdown, as Callum mentioned. You know, there's lots of different things on there if we put out to the students.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think somebody had a question in the chat.
Yes, there's a question from Kajida. I was just about to say, it's about admission. So when they're actually going to enrol. So when will I get the admission or place at the Manchester College? What date will that be? So I guess it's probably not your guys' specific area, but I'm sure you've got some good tips on information on that. Maybe. Oh.
I can give some advice on that. My only advice to you would be get your application ready and submitted as soon as you can, because depending on which area of the college you want to go into, people will quite literally have to fight for the places, like in the automotive industry.
Maybe not quite literally, but
not literally fight for the places.
We
But,
get what you mean. We get what you mean.
It's quite competitive.
Great, and obviously, if people have already got their their applications in, enrolment will take place in August after results day. I don't know if Megan or any of you guys want to go any further into the detail on that one.
Yeah, if you keep checking your apply portal, so where you've put your application in, if you keep checking that, check it once every week. You'll get some communication from your chosen curriculum area. They'll be starting probably to message you and email you and probably ring you about an interview or an audition after Easter, really. And then you'll get to have that communication. They might ask you to come in. Well, do a Teams session online just to see how you get on. And I think the music and the performing arts people, Luke, you can probably remember, you might have to do a little audition or a little conversation with the staff. But yeah, keep checking your apply portal. Don't forget your password for it.
In non-COVID restrictions, we have taster days as well, don't we? Where students potential students come into college and they can have a taster of what they've actually applied for, look at other courses, meet some of the staff. So it's not as daunting when you actually come on campus in September. So depending where we are in June, how COVID is in June, they might be online or they might be face to face, who knows?
And that does tie in with the questions. Yeah, sorry, Kristen.
You've got it.
Yeah, we do have a question from Jack, who's asked, do we have a specific date on when we can visit the campus in person? And it's one of them, it's whenever obviously the restrictions are set by, the government. So we're kind of, restricted by what they set down, and obviously the current restrictions that are in place. But, everything is to be lifted in June. And when are these taster days scheduled? Because I think, it's probably might not be
usually they're in the first week in July. They tend to be sort of the first few days in July, so fingers crossed.
Yeah,
we might get some face to face.
Definitely worth going to the opening day as well, because you do get to meet everyone, and plus I think that if I hadn't already gone on campus and seen the building beforehand, I think it might have been just very overwhelming on my first day, because these are huge buildings. They're not tiny schools, they're huge.
Yeah, and as soon as we know, as soon as the restrictions have been lifted and it's been made official, we will of course let everyone that's applied know. We'll be certainly sending out. So keep your eye on emails if you do hear that the restrictions changed, or if restrictions do lift and we haven't got in contact, you speak to our inquiries team. Give us a call. We'll certainly discuss your application, and we can always potentially even look at seeing if we can do sort of mini tours, or you can just pop in and have a look at the campus if you're feeling a bit nervous about going to campus, going to somewhere you've never been before in September, and you want to get a quick sort of look around. I'm sure one of the team will be more than happy to show you around. So yeah, absolutely.
There's lots of other things. I mean, if things we can't get on campus for whatever reason, and it's just not possible at that time, that we've got, if you wanted to look at the facilities, we do have videos online where you can actually, there's tours of some of the facilities, and we are looking to expand it, and hopefully get some good virtual tours, but hopefully we can get you on campus as soon as possible for you to see it in person, really, because the facilities, I mean, as we've already said, they speak for themselves. They're fantastic. So is there anything else that anybody would like to add before we finish? Any final words from anyone? Any bit of advice or?
Can't wait to see you in September.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much everyone for attending our student panel discussion. And so yeah, thank you very much to the student experience team, and of course, thank you so much to our wonderful students, Callum, Jim, Hilda and Luke.
No problem.
Thank you.
It's been fantastic.
Thank you guys. Well done.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's been really insightful, obviously, hearing everything that you've got to say in your experience. You are the students, and you're who we want to hear from, really. It's your experience that everyone wants to hear about. And we do have other TMC live panel discussions running up until Thursday this week. So if you would like to attend any of them, head to our website, tmc.ac.uk/TMC live, and you can register for that. And obviously, if you would like to apply, you can head to our website as well. And all this information is in the chat box, so just you can head there, and the information is on there. But again, from us, thank you very much for everyone who's attended, and yeah, everyone who's on the call tonight. Have a lovely evening.
I just wanted to mention quickly, if it's all right. Issue that I hold particularly close to my heart as well, because I did experience it going through high school. I did get quite a lot of bullying. So if there's anyone here on the call who has suffered bullying in high school, when you get to college, trust me, it's a lot better. People tend to keep themselves to themselves as well. So if that's something you were nervous about, it does change and it does get better in college. So there's, don't worry about that, because it will get better. People tend to just, they have their own social groups and stick with each other. It's not like in school where there's like the whole societal implications of acting a certain way or dressing a certain way. You do your own things, you have your own friends, and people are a lot more, accepting of different ways.
Yeah, and you find that everyone's there to do the same thing. You've all chosen that course. You're all doing something that you're all passionate about. So it becomes like you just meet very same-minded people.
Exactly. And
Really nice.
I remember most of the idiots who tormented you, they end up ducking college anyway. So for what it's worth, they're not even there.
Oh, well, thank you very much for sharing that, Jim, and like, it's appreciated, and it's reassuring for people to hear that as well. So thank you very much. But yeah, again, thank you very much everyone for taking part today, and yeah, it was great.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, everybody.